We pick up our analysis of Blood Dragon with the next story mission. Our story picks up with Rex needing to destroy one of the 3 facilities that are critical to Sloane's operation, the first being this dam. Dr. Darling briefs you on the situation and instructs you to pick up some explosives placed nearby to help blow up the dam. At this point, thanks to the effort put into liberating the garrisons and doing all the side activities, we have most of the good upgrades and abilities unlocked and equipped, with one notable exception coming up soon. After picking up the explosives, Rex and Darling have a small conversation that gives some background into the state of the world, as well as Rex's lack of a past. If you notice that when Rex goes into his cyber eye to tag enemies, the subtitles reposition themselves so that they don't interfere with the button prompts on the bottom of the HUD. While this may seem obvious, it's just one of the little details that game designers have to keep in mind. This doesn't happen automatically, and it's a script that the programmers must put in order for the game to do something as small as manage the location of temporary on-screen text.
Robo-dogs can smell you, even while stealthed.
We are introduced to the 12th and final animal in the game, the Cyberhounds. These dogs are a real pain because they don't have to see you to detect you. When they find you, you'll get caught and things will get more difficult very quickly. These first 2 guards that I encounter are in the ideal position for a double takedown from above. The game plays it safe and assumes that players didn't go for the side missions right away. A lot of the enemy positions and encounters that you'll see from this point are specifically designed with the assumption that the player will want to rush through the campaign as soon as possible. You'll be able to see this with the HUD constantly giving you advice about enemies that we've dealt with in previous side activities. Keep an eye out for that as we continue. I attempt to lure this dog towards me so that I can kill it quickly, but the dog spots me and the strategy backfires. On the plus side, after killing it, I have completed the animal hunting side activity and have unlocked a very useful upgrade for the shotgun, the Inferno rounds, which I'll purchase later on at the next store.
I'm gonna tuck you into your deathbed, and your blanket is 6 feet of my shit. He was dead tired. This one's for you, Spider.
Objective partially complete. Proceed to the next structural fault.
Oh.
This is the first time we encounter the heavy flame unit in the story missions, and the game literally tells us how to kill it. Typically this would feel like hand-holding and would annoy any sentient human being with half a brain. But from the beginning, the game incorporates humor into all of these sequences, so it's tolerable and doesn't feel insulting.
That never gets old. He has stars in his eyes. Come to Daddy.
Objective complete. C-4000 planted. Please proceed to designated safe zone before detonating.
Time to bring the house down. I just hope this new C-4000 is as good as the old C-400.
Looks like the explosives weren't very useful, so Dr. Darling suggests a different plan. The programmers don't have to program a dynamic or scripted destruction sequence with the dam. A sequence like this may end up pushing the computer's resources to the limit, so it may have been wiser not to do so. In any case, this leads to another interesting scenario once we reach the top of the dam.
Objective. Rendezvous with engineer inside the dam.
Attention! Tomorrow night is chili night in the cafeteria, and extra rations of Kobayashi Cyborg lubricant will be served. Kobayashi Cyborg lubricant, lubricating your future.
I like the part where they blow up. I picked his brain. Fuck yeah.
Need to kill thousands of intruders in a hurry? Why settle when you can unleash the terror
Oh,
bolt?
baby. Where you been all my life?
We encounter a new weapon, the Terror 4000, and I replace my pistol with it. I'm saving this for later as it'll make the last battle of this mission much easier. After picking up this gun, I buy the Inferno rounds that I just unlocked a few minutes ago after killing the Cyberhound.
Reminder, throw a cyber heart at the enemy so that nearby dragons attack them.
Fetch.
Attention! A new delivery of explosive red barrels has arrived. We request that all personnel exercise more caution around explosive red barrels, as their usage is for emergencies only.
After throwing a cyber heart to bring in a dragon's assistance, we are given a message about explosive red barrels. While explosive barrels in real life aren't usually colored red, it's been a staple of games for many years, particularly since red is a very aggressive color and stands out easily amongst other objects. It attracts attention, which is why you'll see a lot of advertisement use aggressive colors like red or yellow. Here, you'll notice that getting upgrades pays off, as the sniper rifle's explosive rounds make taking out helicopter pilots very easy, since it's not too important to be super accurate with my shots. It also makes quick work of vehicles, as you'll see immediately after the dragon's death.
I don't have time to give you my name. I only have time to kill you.
Objective complete.
Are you Sergeant Rex Colt? Dr. Darling said you're some kind of hero.
I'm no hero. I'm just your everyday U.S. military Mark IV cyber commando.
Alrighty. You need to clear me a path to the reactor so I can turn the power down. I'm no cyber soldier.
Right. Then it's lights out for Sloan.
Objective. Protect the engineer.
Once again, we are given an escort mission, similar to protecting Spider in the beginning of the game. And, just like before, the scientist doesn't get in the way of the player or the upcoming firefights. As a rule of thumb, regardless of the game or genre of game you're making, a supporting character should not get in the way of the player. It makes the game feel unfair because the player is punished for a decision that he didn't make. A player should only be penalized for direct choices that they make towards gameplay. And now we get to see the power of an upgraded shotgun, with a semi-auto upgrade, quad barrels, and inferno rounds. After killing the soldiers in this room, Rex and Sloan have an exchange of dialogue that describes their personal motivations and the conflict between those views. All stories are simply about how people deal with a conflict of choices. Conflict doesn't always imply the existence of violence, but due to the nature of games requiring active involvement, a physical conflict is usually the best way of showing this to the player. That's why you tend to see a lot of games revolving around violence, fighting, and killing. It makes sense from both a practical and technical point of view.
Attention. Cleanup of mutagenic biotoxins on sub-level 3. Cleanup on sub-level 3.
Clear.
On my way. Well, look at you. Still alive and all.
You know what, Sloan? Your Omega Force is an Omega farce.
We'll see, Rex. Who's a joke and who's a cyber god?
After the scientist opens this door, Sloan implies to Rex that there is a more significant connection between them. It's a subtle setup which has a hilarious payoff near the end of the game.
Well, maybe there's more of me in you than you got left to yourself. Or maybe you scared I didn't give you a reason to kill. I just gave you an excuse.
That did it! That's the bridge to the exposed reactor core. Come on!
There's access to Coolant Lake. Release the cyber shocks. I'll override the control mechanisms and send that baby into
To overload.
Then it's lights out for Sloan.
You, said that one already.
Lights out forever.
Okay. We are almost there, Sergeant.
Heavy electromagnetic
Rex has to protect the scientist while he attempts to disable the reactor core and shut down the operation. You'll notice that the HUD starts to go a bit nuts due to the reactor's EM field, which leads to some hilarious moments coming up. Another thing to point out is the room in which the scientist is standing in, which has an obviously excessive amount of health kits, ammo, and an additional minigun. This is seen in many games right before a difficult sequence of gameplay, and is commonly known as a boss fountain. It's there to give the player some additional preparation or help before dealing with a significant test, which in this case would be a small endurance round.
Objective complete. Rejoin the engineer and hold hands. And frolic.
You did it! Now I just need to hack the system and expose that reactor core.
Attention. No parking in the brown zone.
I'm opening the reactor shields. Don't let them kill me, okay?
Another nice detail, after Rex fires the minigun for a certain time period, he'll do a dramatic yell. While this is quite cliche, it also makes the player feel powerful.
Come down and face me, you rusty cum buckets. Way to die on the job, dick shitter. Way to die on the job, dick shitter. Ouch.
As you may be able to tell, I saved the original minigun so that I could save ammo for this fight. This way, I won't have to worry about ammo with my standard guns, since the minigun is the most useful weapon for this section.
Sergeant Colt, you missed a couple of cyber soldiers. You did it, Sergeant! It's not overloading! You need to punch the reactor!
Objective. Punch the nuclear reactor.
We are never actually told the scientist's name, nor do we really care, but Rex gets overly dramatic and spouts some generic one-liners. After completing this mission, the female AI makes the most compelling speech that I've ever heard about washing your hands. Rex and Darling have a short conversation, which leads to her going into a hilarious and fairly accurate rant about gaming in general.
It's like they're shaking hands with everyone you've ever known, including your mother. And you wouldn't want anyone touching your mother, would you? Please wash your hands.
Rex, are you doing okay after that EMP surge?
Good as new, Doc. There's no challenge I can't beat.
I don't know, Rex. I'm pretty unstoppable in the Bishop of Battle.
Doc, you play video games?
Yes, Rex. Video games are a proven coping mechanism, like any hobby. They've been shown to improve hand-eye coordination, problem-solving, social interaction, and self-confidence. And no studies have managed to prove a correlation between video games and violence. Frankly, anyone who thinks games are bad for you is a fucking idiot.
Hey, whoa, Doc.
No, Rex. FUCK stands for Failing to Understand Our Capacity for Kindness. It's an acronym. Though I suppose this isn't a game anymore, is it?
That's the end of this video. We'll pick up where we left off with our next vid.